All right. So what you are looking at here is Selam Road uh, during the nighttime, Friday night to be exact. And yep, I think this will be my third recording or something like that. Anyways, so yeah, so for this teacher job fair, I went to the whole coaching slash meet and greet thing that went on Friday evening, and got the usual advice, about being prepared for interviews and stuff like that. Yeah, and also got a chance to talk to a couple of other teachers. And funny enough, I actually ran into a teacher who actually was also teaching in China, just like me. Funny enough, my last job was in Guangzhou, and he was also teaching in Guangzhou as well. But where this other person was teaching at, like, damn, to say that he's teaching in Guangzhou geographically and according to the labels of the map, that is correct. But he's where he was at was like the sticks almost. Um, it's like somebody saying, "Oh yeah, I work in Toronto," but then they're really like all the way up in the north end of Richmond Hill, or way out in the west side of Oakville. Is that really Toronto? Meh. Anyways, yeah. So I guess the main thing is that now I don't want to give details about this particular other teacher and whatnot, because it's not appropriate for video. But it's for me, it's nice to meet a fellow China hand. It's just that with teaching in China or working in mainland China, it's just there are a lot of peculiarities. Let's call them that, peculiarities about working in mainland China, and sometimes when you try to tell other people about them, they kind of understand, but then they kind of don't, and they just kind of blink and stare back at you. Maybe they'll say, "Oh yeah, what you're saying is crazy," "Oh, that's not what I see in the news," and then you just kind of roll your eyes, and you're just like, "Oh, come on, dude! Like, just listen." You know. Anyways, yeah. So being able to talk shop, as they say, about teaching in China and whatnot is actually quite nice. Um, yeah, the guys that run the job fair, uh, everything's nice and organized and whatever. One of the people that's in charge of that job fair, this person, they that person comes off as a little bit intense for my liking. Um, I don't know. Maybe it's just, well, it is me. You know, um, Personality wise, I tend not to care for people that are too intense when they are doing things, because it can be a bit off putting. You know, you just like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, yo, dude. I just want to quietly work, do my things diligently. I don't want to deal with any pretense or whatever. I just want to quietly do my job, or whatever. And sometimes when a person comes off as being too intense and too strong in their opinion, it can kind of be a bit unnerving. That's just me. Okay. Yeah. uh, I'm just kind of just describing what how I feel about it. So if you think that, oh yeah, man, you're being too sensitive, or no, 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 there's a reason why people are intense and so on, that's fine. um I'm not really going to have a debate with you about that. And to be quite honest, um, that person's intensity, um, at least when I felt it, it came from a place of good, in that that person is intense because they're passionate about their job. They do really want to help. You don't see, how do you say it? You don't see any kind of ulterior motives behind that intensity that is malevolent or anything like that. So, anyways, yeah, and like I talked to a couple other people and things like that. Just kind of say like, hello, my name is so and so. Oh, this is where I'm from. Blah blah, the usual things, and whatnot. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. And I did my final bits of preparation for the job fair. To pass out CVs, and also prepare things to say, like what would I say about my career. How would I answer questions about, like, oh, what do you know about the school? What are your views on education and things like that? You know, yeah. So here goes nothing, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. So that's pretty much it for me, and it's time for me to sign off.